For my birthday, my grandpa gave me a small cedar chest. Now we're building a large one, together. Here's what a board looks like when it comes from the sawmill. It's rough. Next, the wood is prepared with the tongue and a groove so that they fit together. Then they are glued together to make a tight joint. This is Tony from Caprice Millwork. He is running the boards through the time saver so they are sanded smooth. The boards are sent through the time saver 3 or 4 times before they're smooth, but it's worth it. Now we're putting a finer sandpaper in so we can get the wood smoother. Now Tony is planing the edge to get it smooth. Now he's cutting a clean edge and cutting it to length. Now he's cutting it to the proper width. We're here today with our friend Greg Wood, and we're going to cut the wood to exact size. Greg, would you cut the wood to 36.5 inches by 21 3/4?
Sure, I'll give it a good try.
Greg is cutting the boards to 21 3/4 inches. Now he is cutting a clean edge because there was a chip and a slant in the other one. Finally, he is cutting it to length, which is 36.5 inches. Looks pretty good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now we're testing the stain on the mahogany plywood so it matches the cedar. Looks pretty good to me. We're just a little over halfway done staining the part of the mahogany plywood that we will need for the bottom of the cedar chest. I think it looks pretty good, don't you? Now we're putting the urethane on the stained plywood, and so it looks shiny and new. Doesn't that look pretty? Now we're sanding the board that we're going to cut the handles out. When making a handle like this, first we use a pattern like this, and then we trace it. I like to have this saying, first we draw it, we saw it, and then we smooth it. In this segment, we're just going to draw it, and then we use the cutter and cut the shape for my hand to go. The next thing we do is saw out the shape of the handle with the saber saw. Now, we smooth out the handle with the rasp and the sanding block. Now we're attaching the handle so when the chest is done, we can lift it. Now we're gluing and assembling our chest. You could have a little puppet show in here, don't you think? Now that the chest is assembled, we're attaching the hinges to the top. Now that we have the chest assembled and the hinges are on, we're going to put the trim on the top. Don't you think you could be a jack-in-the-box in this thing? Now that the trim is done on the top, we're going to put the foot on the bottom. Looks pretty nice. Now the chest is finished. We just installed some special hinges so it won't open too far, and so it'll stay up when I open it. And we installed a little plaque saying "Handcrafted by Grandpa Homie with love." And oh man, I wish you were here to smell this. It's just a beautiful essence. Can't wait for it to fill my room. Can't wait to take it home.